Hello guys, since I have this nice footage from a video that failed to record on the POV, I decided to make something different and talk to you guys about what podcasts I listen to while we watch some squidding. Let's go! In no particular order, let's start with Chasing the Racin. So this podcast is a racing podcast. It's recorded by some lads in the UK. It covers mostly road racing, BSB, so British Superbike Championship, and World Superbike Championship, and also MotoGP. So basically racing focused. It's fun. They are always having a laugh, and it's done by racers for racers, and there's always stories, always something interesting. I recommend it. Very interesting. Up next, it's the Cleveland Moto Podcasts. This one is one of the oldest podcasts I found. When I searched for motorcycle podcast, this one was one of the top results. It's about everything of motorcycles. They talk about news, they talk about events, they talk about dealership fees. Some of the guys are in the industry. They talk about maintenance. They are focused on vintage bikes and Vespas. that's one of the things that I found funny. But one of the best podcasts about motorcycles, and if you can take a listen to the guys, do it. You won't regret it. And the first commercial podcast is from Highside Lowside and Redzilla. This one has two hosts, Spurgeon Dunbar and Zach Kortz. And if you know Zach Kortz and Harry Henning from various channels, they have a very storied career. Sometimes Harry also appears in Highside Lowside. I like this podcast because it's follows the news. It has some trivia. It's more commercial, more focused to the public, but it's very interesting, and they always have something interesting to tell you about, and the hosts are great. So if you can, take a listen. First podcast from a YouTuber that I follow. Not the first done by a YouTuber, but Live on Two Wheels is done by Chasin the Racin, the channel with the same name, basically. I found this podcast by the channel. I follow Chase, and it's similar to the previous one, to Highside Lowside. But it's more informal, more funny, different flavors, different opinions. I don't agree with all the opinions Chase has, but it's very interesting and also a good listen. And this one is Motorcycles and Misfits podcasts. They are like the Cleveland Moto podcast. They talk about shops, they talk about maintenance, they talk about off-road, they do events either in the States or outside. They talk about vintage stuff, and they also have a bit of a rivalry with the Cleveland Moto guys. So you will always have clapbacks from these guys and the Cleveland Moto. So if you want to follow both sides of the story, follow both podcasts. You won't regret it. And we come to the second racing podcast. This one is the Oxly Bom MotoGP podcast. It's done by Matt Oxley and Peter Bom. It's a recent find. They have been doing this since last year. Very interesting, with lots of technical stuff from MotoGP and tips about what's happening, some backstage things. Awesome podcast. If you want to follow MotoGP, can't have a better one. And the final motorcycle related podcast that I follow is the Full Tank. It's the second one from a fellow YouTuber. In this case, it's Moto Bob. He does some discussions, it's an extension of his channel. It's very interesting. It's a recent find, so I haven't listened to a lot of episodes, but one of the things that I like on this podcast, it gives us an European view. So if the previous ones are all from the American point of view, this one is European. It's the UK, but it's European, and it's more commercial focused, so news, events, road focused. It's very interesting, and if you can, give it a follow. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Hope that you liked this kind of format. I could not drive to record this, and I will be honest, I don't think I could keep all the names from memory for you guys. So we have this nice relaxed format with me doing voiceover and you guys watching me being a squid. Hope you like it, enjoy, and I will leave links for the podcasts in the comments, and if you want, follow them because they are worth a listening. And this is what I do when I ride my bike. I don't just go without anything. I will be either listening to a podcast or listening to music, and normally I will be listening to a podcast. See ya.